mocked. We'll find out. With that, welcome in. Boy, did we do it. We did it. Matt Berry in for Greeny. He was in Green Bay for the NFL Draft. I've got Neek over here. I've got Graz over here. We're going to get into everything as we get set for the biggest night in the NFL. Peter Schrager, Ryan Clark, they are at Lambeau this hour. And to talk some NBA, Bobby Marks, Monica McNutt. Let's begin there with the game of the night. Steph Curry and the Warriors try to take a 2-0 lead against the 2 seed in Houston. I gave Graziano a Western Conference seeding quiz. I told him Houston was 2. He didn't believe me, but it's true. Under 3 minutes to go, Amen Thompson misses. This is the story of the night and perhaps in all of the playoffs. Look at Jimmy Butler in the awkward fall on his tailbone after the rebound. Just a nasty collision with the floor. You see right there, that left side of his tailbone. He walked up, sorry, hit the free throw, would not return. We'll get into that more in just a minute. However, Jalen Green got into it and then some. Look at that step back 3. Rockets up 18, just over a minute and a half. Warriors down 15. Stephen tries to get his team back in it off the screen, hits the 3. Thought he was fouled. Didn't get the call. Warriors down 12. Ensuing Rockets possession. Oh, it's Jalen Green again. 14-point lead at the half. Under a minute to go in the third. Rockets up 82-68. Yep. Watch this finish. Ha! 15 points in the third for Green. Also had 15 points in the first half. Rockets lead by 16 at this point, just a formality. It was a good bounce back for those 2-seeded Rockets. They win 109-94. Jalen Green, 38 points, 6 assists, 3 steals. Steph, 20 points, 5 assists, 9 rebounds. And a little bit of exchange between Draymond Green and Van Vliet. It doesn't matter at this point because it's gone final. Warriors lose the game. Rockets tie the series. The biggest question was Steph afterwards if he had checked in with the injured Jimmy Butler.
Sure, 800 people have asked him, so I didn't want to add the 801. I know if he can play, he'll play, and that's what you expect.
Jimmy's only going to tell you he feel good. Like, you good? Like, of course. So, we'll see.
We will. It is wait and see now. If the Warriors are going to do anything in this series, they're going to need Jimmy Butler healthy. This season, Warriors have won 75% of their games when Butler has been in the lineup before the trade. I mean, you know, Golden State an under 500 record. This is to say that Jimmy Butler means everything to a playoff push for the Warriors. As we bring in Bobby and Monica with us to discuss all things Jimmy Butler. Bobby, simply, are the Warriors in trouble without Jimmy Butler?
Oh, yeah, I do, Matt. I mean, look at the Warriors team before they got Jimmy Butler. And now if you subtract him from this roster, and we'll see where his health is, they're basically a watered-down version. Remember, without Butler and certainly without Andrew Wiggins, who they've traded here. So as great as Stephen Curry is and as great as a coach as Steve Kerr is, they need Jimmy Butler to get past the Houston Rockets in this series here. The good news is that they don't play until Saturday night, so they do have a couple days off, but of course they need They need a healthy Jimmy Butler on the floor for them to get past Houston.
Look, I just think you can't underestimate the value of Butler, right? Like, even down to the free throw, somebody finally getting to the line. Bobby nailed it. Like, without him, they've depleted this roster. And last night they get 50 points from their bench. It's a blowout, so it's kind of hard to gather that. But even in it being a blowout, I mean, it was a dozen-point game, sort of in striking distance down in the fourth quarter. But Houston playing with this level of confidence on both sides of the floor, if they can maintain this, then the Warriors, to me, they're in real trouble if Butler can't get healthy. Now, if Jalen Green, can be that efficient,
Sure.
We'll wait to see for the rest of the series. But this was one of Houston's best games so far in the postseason for sure.
Yeah, Monica, stay there for a minute because we know Steph's one of the greatest shooters, if not the greatest shooter we've seen in NBA history. He's got the bona fides to carry the Warriors. We know Butler's going to be banged up. Is Steph enough? Can he carry the Warriors at least into the point where Butler can be healthy enough to contribute again?
I mean, both teams need to win 3 more. You got 5 games to get that done. Look, I'm not going to say no, Matt, in that we've seen Stephen Curry show up with 50-point performances when it matters most. Like, he continues to sort of defy the odds at this point in his career. What I will say is the degree of difficulty on such a task is very, very high, especially because Houston is a team that really hangs their hat on the defensive end of the floor. And like I said, if they get this level of offense rolling, they don't even have to be this good. But if they have their defense and have, 70% of what they offered last night, without Jimmy Butler, the Warriors look like a completely different squad.
Bobby?
No, I agree. I mean, listen, if Jimmy Butler's not on there, that allows Ime Udoka to game plan more around Stephen Curry. And now you're asking who's going to be the other offense you're going to get from. Is it going to be, are you going to get more Draymond Green, Moses Moody, Brandon Podziemski, who we didn't see much last night because he had food poisoning here. So that's the big concern as far as removing Butler. I thought last night if Jimmy Butler stayed in this game, and certainly if the injury didn't happen, that they would have won this game because they would have hung around enough because of the immaturity of Houston down the stretch. And we did see a little bit of that last night where they allowed Golden State to kind of creep in. But if you're looking at going home, I think if there's no Jimmy Butler, you got to get a split. Because at least you know you can get back to Houston and win there because you've done it before.
And look, maybe a blessing for the Warriors in this case. We wait on the Jimmy Butler injury and how long he could be out. It's a 7-game series. These things take time. There is time for him to get back and get healthy. We'll find out. But again, the Rockets, they looked every bit of the 2 seed last night against the banged-up Warriors. Much more.
Take a good look. You're not going to see him for long. Jimmy Butler has really breathed new life into these Warriors. They really are a problem if and when they are fully healthy. This game, too, after the Dubs stole game 1 in Houston, Jimmy Buckets going up for the rebound. But you see Amen Thompson kind of loses his footing, runs right into the back of Butler, so undercuts him. Butler goes down hard. He actually got sent to the free throw line, hit 1 of 2, then went to the locker room, would not return. They're calling it a pelvis contusion. MRI expected today, second quarter, Jalen Green. The Rockets needed way more out of him last night because they only got 7 points from him in game 1 of 8 triples he had, and then Steph Curry. He wanted the foul. You'll see him kind of call for it. It looked a touch awkward when he was skying. He kind of wanted the ref to call it. It stayed standard. Jalen Green, meanwhile, him and Fred VanVleet, 7 of 34 from the field in game 1. They were 15 of 33 in game 2. A massive improvement. All right, away from the ball, what do we got here? Draymond Green going down. It must have been serious, right? Oh, caught him with the forearm shiver. The delayed fall. Green on green crime. All right, Jalen Green was actually assessed a flagrant 1, and things would stay chippy. Green, left hand smooth finish here, but take a look at Fred VanVleet getting into it with Draymond. By the way, Houston outscored Golden State 46-28 in the paint. Alperen Şengün had 17 of them. They would eventually be separated. Eventually, Houston would come out on the winning end of this behind Jalen Green's 38. After the game, though, Steve Kerr on Jimmy's status.
Hopefully, Jimmy will be able to play, but if not, then we've got to go through our options and put together a plan.
But were you able to talk to Jimmy and see how he feels?
If Jimmy's only going to tell you he feel good. Like, you good? Like, of course. So, we'll see.
All right, with Butler out, the Warriors struggled with Steph Curry off of the floor. They shot just 4 of 17. They were minus 12 with Curry on the bench in game 2 after being plus 7 in game 1. The Rockets also locked down Steph. According to Genius IQ, they heavily contested 13 of his 15 shots. That's the highest heavy contest rate Curry has faced in a playoff game under Steve Kerr. All right, that's the Western Conference happenings. What about out east in Boston from the parquet? Game 2, Celtics up 1-0 in this series. They're going to have to do it, though, without Jason Tatum. It's a bone bruise on that wrist he hurt in game 1. It's all good because Jaylen Brown, he answered the call, man. Creating separation off Wendell Carter Jr., hits the step-back triple, and then cookies. He'll go the other way. Brown had 13 points in the quarter. He was a perfect 5 for 5 from the field. Celtics were up 14. Paolo Banchero misses, but you know who doesn't? Goga Bitadze. That elbow came down hard on Kristaps Porzingis. Broke skin. KP would eventually have to leave this game. He would return. Bitadze issued a flagrant 1. He would stay in it because there he is right there. Banchero with the no-look in the 4th quarter to keep the Magic to within 7 points in this game. Couple possessions later, Banchero, the offense runs through him. He went for 32, his 3rd straight 30-point playoff game. And here comes KP. 5 stitches to the dome. You know the Boston faithful is going to appreciate that. Derek White rolling, cashing 3 of his 17. It kept it a double-digit lead for the Celtics, and then JB, he would do the rest. He went for 36, his 14th 30-point playoff game. You got the Patriots brass in the building, loving what they see. Drew Holiday absorbs the contact, sees JB open in the corner, got it. Celtics win game 2 by 9. After the game, Joe Mazzulla, super normal.
Yeah, I do. I love watching him. I like watching him bleed on the court. I think it's important. And then he comes back in and does his job. So I do like that about him.
What's not to love? All right, game 2 between Donovan Mitchell, Spida, and these Cavs up 1-0 on these Miami Heat. DeAndre Hunter, a fantastic addition at the deadline. It adds to that already deep Cavaliers bench. And then Bam Adebayo loses control of the Rocks. Sam Merrill on the other end. He'll cash the 3. The Cavs were up by 9 in this second quarter. This is all part of a 9-0 run in this second frame on the road. Cavaliers hitting their shots. That spells trouble. We'd stay in the second for quite some time. Duncan Robinson misses the 3. That's something that the Cavs simply weren't doing. Spida with the rebound. That ball never touched the court, by the way. Max Strus puts Cleveland up 16, and then Darius Garland to Spida. The Cavs hit 11 threes in the second quarter. That's the most in a quarter in the history of the NBA's postseason. It was a 68-51 lead at the break. We moved to the fourth. Adebayo. Hey, Miami has a Mitchell himself who wears 45, whose name is Davion. And by the way, I Googled it. They're not related. I went to Google's page too, so it was a thorough search. Tyler Hero has to be. He had a game-high 33. The deficit is 2 for the Miami Heat, but it was too much Donovan, man. He was feeling himself in the fourth quarter. Cleveland hit 22 threes in this game. They had 11 in the second quarter. Spida had 30 points in this game. 17 of them came in the final frame. And behind that 30-point performance, the Cavaliers win game 2, 121-112. They take a 2-0 series lead. Is it now, Schiff?
Chào các bạn, mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn làm vòng. Hôm nay vòng của mình sẽ có tiêu đề là lọ hoa. Bây giờ mình sẽ bắt đầu làm nhé. Rất tốt.
Siêu rồi đánh trận vào cho thỏ điện ấy. Ngẩng đầu chơi đi. Ở dưới này còn có một đứa bé hơn đánh trận vợ